I gave my money to a guy, and then he came back and then insulted me and said, you are bad with money, you're bad with spending money. And I couldn't say, but you didn't give me part of my money.
When you start to spend as a way of securing a relationship, that's where the problem is. Because men think that, spending on a guy in a relationship is ideal. Is that what you're saying?
No. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode on the Truthandtalespodcast with your favorite host, Yemi and
Victoria.
Yay! Welcome back once again to another episode. I think I said that already, but yes, I'm saying it again. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys so much for your love and support on all our previous episodes, especially the last episode. Thank you guys for watching, for leaving your thoughts, for liking the videos, and for subscribing. Thank you guys so much. And as always, please do not forget that we are on all your available podcast platforms. Links will always be in the description box, and we also have our personal channels on YouTube. I'm Yemi Ayodeji and Victoria is Victoria Fash, and we are doing the Unashamed series. We're giving it to you guys hot as it the hot.
Now
Yes, now. So if you're watching the Unashamed series and you just hear something like, welcome to, and you just hear Truthantale, just know that, everything's just, it's just entering to each other. But anyways, there's just a lot of goodies happening on the personal channels as well. So just so that you don't miss out on that. But yes, we have another interesting conversation for you guys today. Another juicy one, and this one, okay, let me not make mouth. Let me not talk too much.
This one is Yemi that is invested in this one because the way she's so interested in this topic.
Oh God, it's because I can remember one of my stupid episodes related to this particular topic. So yes, anyways, let me just talk about the topics so you guys will understand what we are talking about today. So today we are going to be talking about, money in relationships. Like, how do you, is it okay to spend money on your boyfriend or girlfriend? Now, this is not in marriage, or this is in relationship when you guys are still dating, whatever stage you are in, fiance, whatever, but it's dating, it's not in marriage now. So is it okay to spend money, to invest, to give money to your boyfriend, borrow them money, whatever it is, just use your personal money for the other person? Is it okay for you to do that, And we kind of saw a video on Instagram. We saw a video on Instagram where this lady was crying hot tears, like premium tears. She used all her life savings, all her investments, or everything that she has, and she gave it to this guy to go abroad for studies. And when the guy got there, after 2 weeks, I mean, is it 2 months or so, he sent her a, breakup message, just delivered her the hot breakfast, and she had to take it, She had to take it. He broke up with her, and then he blocked her. He blocked her straight away. Like, the guy is like, he planned it. He planned it. But then he just blocked her. And, we just saw that, and we're like, okay. Did we have such episodes? Is anybody like me, that had such episodes where they carried money and gave to a man? Or are people wise and they're not like me? But anyways, that's what we are delving into this episode, okay? So, yes, who is going to begin? How am I going to begin?
Where you should begin, because the way this story is in your chest.
Oh my God. I mean, as we're just talking about it, I just remember that particular episode. And it's so funny because in all my dating years now, I wasn't really somebody that was like invested in a man, like, oh my boo, all these mushy things. I wasn't really somebody that was into that. Not like I didn't like the people that I was dating or anything like that, but I wasn't really into all those kind of stuff too much. But it was still this me that did mumu with money. And I think this particular relationship that I did mumu with money, it was still money. It was because of money that I broke up with this person. So anyways, so in this particular relationship, it's funny because I know my husband will watch this episode and he'll be like, Anyways, I've just said it before, we just like laugh about it. So, okay, in this particular relationship, right, I was still in uni, and this person was in he was doing his NYSC. Yes, we met actually in his own NYSC in my own 200 level. I'd come in as direct entry student in my University of Abuja, and then he was serving computer science and one-to-one students serving in University of Abuja. And so we're doing all this like registration, you know, when you're struggling to register. Like if you know government university now, everything is just hustle, rush and things like that. So I was just really tiny, and I was just trying to like get my documents, like just get in front and just submit this document so that, you know, it will be part of the ones that they will process that day, and then I'll get it by the following day. But there was a lot of people struggling, and once they closed that window, because it was through window that we used to pass it, once they closed it, that's it. So I was just trying to squeeze myself in that thing, but it was too much. I just went and stayed beside a door, and that door had, like, you know, all this what they call it, this burglary, that they locked the door. The burglary was outside. The door was slightly open, I think, but I just stood there like, you know, I give up. I was just there, and I just saw this person come. I'm like, hi, are you trying to submit this thing? And I'm like, yes, so I want to submit. And he just collected it from me, and he said he would do it for me, that I should come back tomorrow and I should get it. I should just come back to like this particular spot. I'll get it. And it was really like a tall, good looking, soft kind of guy. I was like, okay, cool, cute boy, tall. And that was it. So I just gave him, I was not like, so if I come tomorrow and I don't see you, like, what will happen? I think I was even the one that asked for his number, like, please give me your number, you know, desperation. Please give me your number so that if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll be able to call you. I was like, sure, cool. I collected the number. It was even the one that now called me or sent me a text that, okay, that my document is ready, or that I can come and get it. So that was how we had each other's number. And that day when I went to get the document, he opened the door. I went inside the office. I was feeling cool, like everybody was struggling outside. I was inside. Anyways, that's how this story started. And that was it. Eventually we started dating and things like that. But he was always talking about being broke. Like I wasn't somebody that would ask you for money. I never asked, like, I don't ask people for money. But you know, you just expect that, okay, this person will, like, maybe when he's coming to see you, he'll buy juice. Or maybe when somebody's coming to see you, will buy apple, or think, like, just don't come empty-handed. So that was like the first hint of stinginess that I saw. But I wasn't really bothered, because I was just not bothered, because in my own mind, I was just a cool boyfriend. I didn't want to date somebody in school, but I just wanted to date so that I would not be like, see me say I don't have boyfriend when everybody's talking. So cool, I have boyfriend though. And that was it. He would come. Another thing I liked about him was that he was fine with all my rules, like, okay, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, and he was just fine with it. And you know, if he was going to do anything, he was going to like ask for permission. He was just really sweet and gentle and just nice guy. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's be doing love, are we? But I just noticed it was really stingy, and it was just very stingy. And I didn't spend my money on him as well, but it's not like he's coming to the house and I will not buy like maybe juice so that I will not, but it's not like I will cook, but at least juice, drink, things like that. So NYC finished, I didn't owe him anything, he didn't owe me anything. And then he went on and he got a job in another city, so we kind of broke up, and then we came back together after some time again. I think he forgot my birthday, then we broke up, and then somehow we came back together again after years. By that time I was already in 300 level now. I shall remember that every time he comes into Abuja, I would have to go and see him in his house, like in his family house, like his parents' house in Abuja. But every time I would go and come back, initially, he would just like give me exactly my transport fare. But I didn't mind. But I remember there was this particular time I was thinking, my boyfriend, I bought things, I bought singlets, I bought, you know, all those stupid things I was... I bought singlets, like it was the only person, like I say, I spent my money on as a guy. I buy things. I went and gave. Then there was this particular time, he then said, okay, now fast forward to 400 level graduation. He was just like that, very stingy. I knew it, but I was kind of like not bothered about it. I would buy him gifts. He never bought me anything. I was still like going. So this particular day, he said that, okay, he's coming to, we had graduated now. He said he was coming to do me party, like, okay, my girlfriend finished party and graduating. Let me just come and see her and take her and her friends out and things like that. I was like, cool. So he came. So when somebody is coming to do that, the person has money, Abby. The person has money to take care of your friends out. That's what I'm assuming in my head. This gist that I'm laughing, it's not small gist. I'm assuming it was like, okay, I've told my friends, oh, this guy's coming to. And my friends knew that he was kind of stingy. They used to say it, but I would always like, dismiss it because, my friends had boyfriends that would buy them things and stuff, but they just knew that they know they buy me things, and it's the boyfriend that is working. It's the one that is working, So anyways, I never told them that I used to buy the guy things, though. I never said it before anybody would come and be laughing at me. So I didn't say it, like, things like that. Anyways, so this particular day he came and I was packing. So I was like, he came early. So we're packing our things because the following day our dad was going to come. Like my cousin and I were like roommates. So they're going to come and pick us and things like that, So we're kind of like packing so that when we go out, we just know that we're out, we'll come back and then we'll sleep and then call it a day. So we're packing. He was there. As we're packing and all of that, this tragedy just happened. Some guys, random thieves in the area just barged into our house, and I think they were not expecting to find a guy in the room. They knew it's like all these street boys, all these school gang thieves, kind of like scenario. So they knew that we were girls in their room, and they knew that, and we just left our door open. Normally we would leave it closed, but I don't even know that the door was just open, like not wide open, but it was not locked. Normally we're always locking ourselves inside. So they just barged in. I was like, they wanted to take laptops, take things, take money. So they now saw a guy and he wanted to stand up to them. That's how they just picked up one bottle. They brought a bottle with them and then they just hit it on his head. And that was how they just took things and then they ran out. I wanted to die that night. I was just like, what kind of wahala is this? My parents are coming the following day, things. So we and the blood was just gushing out from his head. Wow. Blood was just gushing out from his head. Anyhow, that was how we had to like call our neighbor that had a car. That one took us to the hospital. And then we now had to like pay money in the hospital for them to do things like first. It was just a mess. So I was like, okay. I put my money down. We did all the treatment. It was like telling me, oh, don't worry. I was doing all those sweet things. Don't worry. Once I leave the hospital, I'm going to give your money back and things like that. Then I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, you already have money, so you don't even need to leave the hospital. You just give me from the money you're supposed to take us out with. And that was it. That is how the guy didn't do anything like that. I just left in there because the following day, my parents, because he had to stay in the hospital overnight, and I think it was the third day they discharged him, but we had to go home because I couldn't tell my parents that man was inside our house when something happened. We just saw that we were robbed, and that was it. So I was like scared. But then everything was fine. He went home, everything was fine. I was expecting my money back because, in fact, I didn't have all the money there because I was broke now. My friend's money, all of us, I collected money. I was like, oh, my boyfriend will give you back. And that was when this money never came back. This money, that was when he was not paying me. It was then and after that I realized I've been the one spending my money on this person all through. He has never given me one dime. He has never, but you said we were going to come and, take me and my friends out on that day. That money, where is it? Just give it back to me. Like, I kept asking for my money. But then it never came up. And I remember that was when I thought, you know what? This is the end of it with this relationship. I just broke up with him and I'm like, well, I beg. End of scenario. But I've also remembered another relationship where I spent my money on somebody. I gave my money to a guy and then he came back and then insulted me and said, you are bad with money. You are bad with spending money. And I couldn't say, but didn't I give you part of my money? Didn't I give you part of my money? But anyways, I remember that particular story. It was this story that is ringing my head of how, that night was something else. But what pained me the most about that night is the fact that I had to spend my money to take care of him again, and the money never came back to me. And it was very occurred to me that I've constantly been spending my money on this guy, and nothing. I never reaped the reward.
Reciprocated.
Let me never talk about another escapade with me and this guy when it comes to money. But anyways, that's it. So I've mumu with money in relationship. That's just the cocoa of this story. Let's not get into details.
So in your opinion, you don't think that spending on a guy in a relationship is ideal? Is that what you're saying?
No. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Because, like I said, there was one that I gave money that came back to tell me that I'm bad with money.
With money.
I'm bad with money, you know.
But
so,
were you bad with money?
Well.
He was an enabler, but he was telling the truth.
It was an enabler. But I mean, like, I'm giving you this money. You should be able to say, like, be nice to me. You should, be nice to me now. Abba, be nice to me. But anyways, I've done mumu with money. And I would not recommend anybody do that. That's just it. I won't.
Well, I understand, Sha, with your own scenario. But talking about this lady, the example you were giving, even with yours, it was obvious that there were like red flags that you were, ignoring about him not wanting to give, him not wanting to spend on you, or him being selfish or greedy with his money. So it's one thing if he has and he's not giving. It's another thing if he doesn't have. Okay, because I also don't want it to be like, okay, we are saying that don't spend on a lady, but it's okay for a guy to spend on you, right? I understand that sometimes as a lady, you are the one that's chasing me. But I also don't believe in that mindset that because we are dating, then I become your responsibility. You have to spend on me, and I don't get to do the same to you, right? So, because for me, I am on the fence on this issue because I don't think I've ever spent on a guy. Actually, I think it's the relationships I've had, even the one that eventually gave me breakfast, is the one that spends on me most times. I don't think I've ever, apart from when I met my husband, because we dated for a while and things happened and there were times that we had to depend on each other, right? But prior to him, I don't think all the relationships I've had, they've been the one like giving to me. But I've not that I collect.
You have been wise.
The thing, no.
You have been wise.
It's not that. Just like you two, I don't ask for things, right? I don't, if you watch my story time about he left me for my my hairdresser, people came to leave comments on that video. I just don't see me and comments these days. If you leave nonsense comments, I just ignore you. I don't have energy, right? And they were like, oh, the guy was because the guy was a person that when he's dating you, he would spend on you. He would like make sure that he doesn't like it when I'm wearing certain things. He doesn't like it when my hair is like 2 weeks old. He likes me to like change my hair every time, to change my dresses and stuff like that. That's the kind of person he is. So, and he does not want to hear that I'm hungry. He will always like send me money and I don't ask for them, but he will do those stuff for me. Eventually, he still gave me breakfast. So at the end of the day, whether you spend or he spend on you, breakfast is inevitable in some situation. Exactly. So, and then I think the previous relationships that I had before that, I think the person that I dated that was greedy with his money was, I also did a story time about how I almost dated a married man. I think that guy too. I think maybe from then I should have known because, there was a time I was like in a situation and I needed to like get out of it, and I didn't have anybody and I didn't know he was married and, and then I asked him, that was the first time in my life I've ever asked a guy for money, and I asked him and he was just giving me one stories or the other. Eventually he told me and his wife, they have joint accounts, blah blah blah. Eventually when I found out, go and watch that story time on my channel if you haven't. You will have more basis. But prior to that, I don't think I've ever been. Number one, I didn't even have the money. Where do I want to get the money from? I don't have it.
It's not like I had the money. That was paining me. It's not like I had the money. I would just be like, maybe I have like 5K, use 2K to do my issues, keep 3K for my.
I don't think so. I think that the relationship that I actually spent most on and was what me too I collected is in the relationship between me and my husband, because we dated for a long time and during that time there was a time I was jobless, there was a time he was jobless, and now whoever get job now in the picture that, right? In short, I remember there was a time that he didn't have a job at the time, or he just because he used to work for politicians, and normally when the tenure ends, your job ends, right? It's like for 4 years tenure, unless the person is re-elected. So I remember that time his boss tenure had ended, so of course he didn't have any. It was in between jobs, and it was I had a job, so when I collect my salary we share it into two. But for me, and I know people who have done that and they still end up being burnt, but for me I think because I already know that we are going somewhere. We've dated for a while. He has, before I spent 1 naira on him, he has already spent on me. Not like he spent plenty on me, like not like I ask him for money, because we're both doing okay. Like, he will have his finances, I had my finances. If I cannot take care of my, why should I be asking him? So we don't really have that send me money kind of relationship. But there were situations where maybe I'm broke and I call him. He doesn't hesitate. I've seen him as a person who would like sacrifice for me and do anything for me. So because of that, whenever he doesn't ask me. So when he asks, you know, most times he doesn't even ask. Most times I'm the one that usually notice that something is off. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of money, or maybe he's telling me that he's trekking from here to here. I will know that he didn't have money. That's why he's trekking. You understand? So in those situations, I would like offer to, you know, to help and to send money or whatever. And I remember when those times he didn't have job. Of course, he had to pay bills. So when I call him my salary, we'll share it into two. He would take, I would take. The day he got his job was the day I quitted my job, because that job was already in my neck. I was already tired of it. The only reason I was holding on to the job was that, you know, it was sustaining me, was also sustaining him. So the day he got his own job, I retired from the job. I said, I'm not doing it because I know just that. Went to rest. Yes. So, and then we're not married. So just so you know, we're not married. We're still dating. It was even in Abuja. I was in Lagos, right? But it wasn't long after that I traveled to the US the other time. So, and do that, and we're even planning our wedding. So what I'm trying to say is, this video that we're saying is not that a man should be spending on you, should just be eating his money, and you should not be able to contribute when he needs the help. But you could tell that for this one now, first of all, your boyfriend, we don't know where, we don't have context to the story, but the way I'm looking at the girl, like, you're young, right? And maybe the guy is also young. Even if he's older, he wants to travel. You have not gone and pursue master. You have not traveled. You now carry all your money to give to somebody to travel. What would, you know, why not, like, okay, let's join money together and go together? Why not like, let's you know, let's hustle, let's wait one more semester or wait one more year so that we'll have enough money to go together and, you know, start a family together. Like, why all of that? Right? So I think everything at the end of the day still boils down to the kind of person that you are with. Because for me, I remember when I was coming to the US, then my husband did not give me all his life savings, but I know he contributed significantly to my traveling. And this is a person he has not married, right? And a lot of things could happen. But I think for us, we just, you know, I think when you are in the right place, you know you're in the right. Wait, what do you want to say? Go ahead.
I think that the thing with giving somebody money, and I think, like you said, is about the person. Because again, even when I was like in a relationship with my husband, when we're still dating, I did give him some money, and I never. He said he was going to return it, but he never returned it. And apparently, when we got married, when I asked him about that money, he said he had even completely forgotten that he ever asked me. And now that one, he just bought a car. He bought a car then, and then he needed to, like, and it was 10K back in the day. So he needed to, like, there was this security thing that you do on the car tracker or things like that. And he had, like, really spent a lot of money during that period. And I think it was, prior to then, he had given me no, it's the one relationship that spent money in this life, or like correct money. So at that time, when he just like mentioned that thing, I was like, oh,
it was a no-brainer.
How much do you need? It was like, oh, it's 10K. And I was like, I've got this 10K. I was like, okay, can you give me? I will definitely pay you back. It wasn't the kind of person. His ego would not allow him to just collect the money and not give you back. So it was like, he's going to give me back so time. I already said it. I was like, okay, no problem. And that money, that 10K was actually my last 10K. That was why I offered to say, like, do you want 10K? Because that was like the only money I had. I didn't even think to say, do you want 5K? But I just thought, like, this is like, it doesn't make sense for me to say, takes little out of it. Like, I was just like wanting to help at that point, because I know when you buy the car, it's me that will cruise inside it, you know. So I was telling, okay, do you want this thing? And I gave it to him, and he was like, yes, cool. It worked for him, but then he completely forgot about it, and he never gave me. But I don't know why. I never asked about it. And so I did give him money at the time, but it made sense when I gave him money. But the ones that I was giving before, maybe buying things and I never got it back, I did them because I thought that was the thing I needed to do to make my relationship work. I thought I needed to, like, give these people, like, buy things for them or give them money or do things like that, so that's
would
the
make
thing.
Them
that's
know
where
that,
I was actually. I really like
that's where I was actually getting to. But yes, exactly. Go ahead. I'd like that you're talking about that.
Yeah. you know, like, but for this person, he actually needed it. He has been so supportive. He has been kind. He has been really caring all along. There was no stress. Like, he would never come and visit me, or he would never come to my place and come empty. It was never going to. It never happened, you know. And it wasn't me that noticed. It was my friends that noticed it at first, and you know, they started to talk about it. Like, first time in my life that I have a relationship that will spend money on me, things like that. So there were two like different cases. The people were there were two different scenarios. So I'm not necessarily saying like don't ever give somebody your money when you're dating. But I'm just saying like don't invest. No, you know, like before you go and invest in somebody that much, make sure like I was saying, like most of this money that I was giving them, it's not like I had it in abundance. I was doing too much to make my relationship work, and I was giving from that dry pot that I had. I wasn't really investing in myself before I invested in those people. I was just, you know. So anyways, that's like, go on say what you want to say, Jare.
Yeah, I was just going to add that you know, when you start to spend as a way of securing a relationship, that's where the problem is. Because men, you know when a man doesn't want, and men know the kind of lady, they know when they don't like you, when they don't want you, and they are just with you for what you can give, right? So when you start to see the signs that this person does not really like you, but he's only there for what you can give, then why continue the relationship? And that's one thing that I find in relationships like this. So you are with a person, but you know, there is no pattern of love, of care, and all of that. And all of a sudden, he just, you know, it didn't happen all of a sudden. There's been signs that you've been ignoring, right? Signs. And some people, I've seen ladies who would give money to the guy and all of that, just in a way of showing. You mentioned something like that, like just to show that I'm committed. Like it's like you're trying to buy his affection, and that's the kind of thing that, you know, doesn't really work out. So from the very get-go, from the very beginning of the relationship, you will know if this person is in for you or in for what you can give. So if every time I know a lady that every time the guy send me a chat card, send me kiniko, oh I'm stranded, you are always sending him money. That's the only thing. It's either you are giving him money or you are giving him sex. That's the only thing your relationship is based on. There is no commitment from him. There is no, even if it's, you know, then I mean there are a lot of signs that I saw in my husband. And first of all, I already knew he was serious from the first get-go. He came, he told me he wanted to marry me, so I already knew that. But there were a lot of ways, even if he could not help me financially, you know, at some point, like in my job, you know how many emails, how many letters, how many proposals he will help me to write. He will review contracts for me. He will do stuff because those are things that he's good at. Those are ways he can, you know, assist me and all of that. So he would do that. In short, my application for going to that US thing, he will help me to work on it, work on recommendation letter. He would, you know, you will know a guy that is, you know, that is invested. You know, that is invested and committed into that relationship. So you could see all the signs. But a guy that does not care, he called today, you are the one calling him. You are the one calling him tomorrow. He will not call you if you don't call him. He won't visit you if you don't visit. He won't, you know, it doesn't, there is no value he's bringing to the table, right? And then you go and give him all your life savings because he's going through situations, thinking that, because I've seen ladies do this, thinking that if you help him out, then he will see the wife material in you. Doesn't work that way. A person that doesn't like you doesn't like you. So giving him all your life savings will not make him suddenly see you as a wife material. It doesn't work like that, right? So that is where I think situations or issues like this starts to happen. Like I know guys that, you know, I remember there was one, God forgive me, when I was in 100 level, because as we're talking, I just remembered because people sent me a message on Facebook recently. I've not even responded. God forgive me. You know, I remember this guy, you know, I was, sorry, my AirPod has removed. I was in a very, very bad, you know, as a freshman, you know, in a new country and all of that. I didn't have a lot of savings. And my mom is 5,000 every month. You understand? At the time. Because that's what she could afford. But it wasn't enough for me. And then this guy, for some reason, I think he liked me, was in my class. We were both in the same class together, you know, in my 100 level. And, you know, he liked me. He gave me his laptop. He would send me money every time. I knew that I didn't like him. First of all, the honest truth was, when we started dating, when we started being friends, because we never dated, I did not know he liked me like that. I only knew that, you know, he just liked to help me. So I just tell him, like, just, you know, like friend, normal, I'm hungry, he will take me, he will buy food for me, he will send me money, like 50 CDs today, 100 CDs tomorrow, 200 CDs, I didn't know. And then my laptop spoiled, he gave me his laptop, all of that. I don't even know which laptop he was using. Me, I collect laptop, I was doing all of that. But as time went on, like months into getting to know each other, I started to realize, to be honest, that the guy, you know, kind of had feelings for me, and, you know, he was having feelings that I cannot reciprocate at the time because I wasn't attracted to him, you know. And did that make me stop collecting? It didn't make me, because my eye was red. God forgive me.
And
but the problem
also
was that the guy knew that I didn't like him. He can't tell me that he didn't know, because all the signal is giving me.
I have a situation like that too.
That's one thing I don't do. I will not lie. I will not give you a mixed signal. If I don't like you, you know. I will never pretend to like you because of money. Never. That's not me. You know that I don't like you. You know I don't see you like that. And he never came up front to tell me that he liked me. He was just using corner. Until one day we're together and he tried to kiss me. I'm like, where did we start love that we are kissing? Where from this? That's the day he asked me to return his laptop. Why Kuku gave him his laptop back? So honestly, to be honest, so stuff like that happens. Sometimes you know, or you are not being upfront, you know. Like him now, it was probably he thought I did, because I never gave him any signal, to be honest. But you are just hoping that by doing all of this, you will win the love. No, you should approach a person.
He was just hoping.
Just approach the person. Do you like? I like you. This is the honest truth and all of that. And if they like you, fine. It shouldn't be because of what you're giving me. But you cannot think that because you're spending on me, I will suddenly like you. That's no. And he's not the first person. I had another person. This one is even a very older person. You understand? Then it was even my teacher. God forgive me. You know, and he would buy me food. He would do. I never knew this guy liked me. I never knew that he even liked me like that until he took me on one day. And he took me to his mother and he introduced me as his girlfriend. Ha! Even me, I was shocked. Where did it? My sister, that was the last day that I reached out to him. So, you know, there are situations like that where you think that because you are doing all of this, you will earn a person's love. Love should not be earned.
Yeah.
Love is not something that you have to use money to buy. No. If a person likes you, they like you. Don't spend on them because you want to prove that you're a wife material, you're an husband material. Don't do that, right? So I think that's where issues like this come up. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to just give my final thoughts on this matter and just be like, if you
said you had a scenario like that.
I did. Like there's this guy. Actually, that one from day one, it was I think I've talked about this in my dating journey story on my channel. And this particular guy, it was just out of pity, where you're just like, okay, yes, okay, I hear you. Let's just, and he was doing too much. It was just, and no, it was just doing too much, and I wasn't really into him, and he was aware. But he would be like, okay, he will come to my school, he'll come and visit me, he'll bring a few things. There was a time he said he would go shopping for me, he would be doing this thing. But the thing about him, aside from that, is aside from even the way he used to do things for me, I also saw that he didn't do things for people like that. He was just doing it for me, because he just wanted me to see that, if you commit to me, I can take care of you. I don't know whatever it is he was thinking in his mind, but he was just using that to buy my own affection. But that was not the kind of person that the guy was. That's not the person that he is. He's naturally a stingy person from the way he does with other people. But then with me, he's doing things. But that was never. I was even still not bothered. But if you do it, well and good. Nice stuff. I will collect, I'll be happy for you to do it. But then I wouldn't, I never encouraged it for him, but he just wanted to do just to show me that, okay, but me, I was still pitying me. I was just still, So I had that experience as well, that, But then I would say, just like in addition to what you said, that if it becomes a case where you're giving somebody money just so that you can buy the person's love and affection, or just so that the person that can see you as the wife material, then I think that's an issue. And also, it's very important that you know that it's not like when you're dating somebody, you shouldn't give. But it's just that you should give from a place of, I genuinely like this person. I know that this person give as a reflection of your love for that person, not giving so that you can get back from him something that you know that he may not be willing to give you. So you're giving so much that, like people, the way girls will go and cook and do this and bring pepper soup so that he cannot see another person. Just if you feel like, I like this guy so much and he doesn't eat well and you want to cook and go and give him, well and good. In that case, when things don't work out, from the bottom of your heart. You know, it's not like, you know, but in that case, when things don't work out, I am telling you, it's not like at the end of the day, when things don't work out, you now have regrets. No, you just, because you genuinely liked that person and you did it for him, you won't hold it as wasted time. It's the love that left you that you will feel bad for, that you will be hurt about. You won't be hurt about after all I did for you, after all I, you know, after there will be other things that you will be concerned about than the things that you did for that person, if it is genuinely done out of love and you know, affection for that person. So that's something I would say. I'm not saying that, you know, don't give to somebody, but like I said in the case of my husband when we were dating, because I was even the one that was offering, like, do you need this 10K? Because I just knew that it will add value to him at the time, and it's just the least I could do. I've never really given him, at the time when I even met him, he was working, me, I was just there freestyling my life. So it was just something I knew that it wasn't because I wanted him to see me as a wife material or anything like that, but I just saw that, oh, this person is kind, he would do this for me if it was in my own situation. I remember when like there was robbery in our house, in my father's house, they stole my phone and everything. Bought like large amounts of money. I think it's over 30K that year that I should get a new phone. Like, he's done things that you know that 10K will not be a big deal. So I could feel, like I said, he never gave it back to me, but I never asked him. It was later on I was like, you even owe me money. It's like he has even forgotten, you know. So if we never even if we never got married and I never got that money back, I wouldn't honestly be like, oh, after all I did for you. Yeah, I won't count it as a loss. I'll just be so know that. Another thing I would say is that make sure that whatever you're doing for a man are things that you've already done for yourself. It's things that you've already done for yourself. For example, you don't have money to eat, but because you want to prove to this guy that you give him that money, you borrow from your friend to give him to eat. Just so that he thinks that meanwhile you are broke. I remember that there was in uni, there were girls that would buy things for themselves and lie that their boyfriend bought it for them. Meanwhile, they borrowed money to buy it for themselves and to also buy for the guy. Do you get? They'll borrow money from friends, borrow money from their siblings, and do all sorts of things to cater for themselves and also cater for the guy, just because you want to prove a point. So whatever it is that you cannot do for yourself, you cannot do for your siblings, you cannot do for your family members, you cannot invest in yourself, don't think that you should give it. It would lead to resentment. There's no way it will not lead to resentment, because the love I've not shown myself, I want to go and show another person. If the person does not reciprocate, definitely you will be resentful. So I'm not going to say don't give people money, but if you ask me based on my own experience, don't leave those guys. Leave them, let them go and hustle let them go hustle. Let them take care of you, okay? You are the girl, you are the babe. Let them take care of you. But then if you have to, if you know that this person. No. Like I said,
no. Me, I'm saying that don't even if you have in a situation where you have to like support, don't make it a habit, because if you do, tell your men that when you get to marriage, that's the way to continue. What you will know, you're about to say, I always say this in this channel. What you will not take in marriage, don't start to accommodate it in dating, because it's unfair to you and it's unfair to him, because you're presenting the false narrative of who you are, and he is thinking that this is who you are and is marrying somebody that is false. So be open. If you're a person that your 1 naira can never fall down in a man's pocket, show it before you get married, so that he knows what is entering. Right? So it's not being into marriage now, you are now complaining and nagging and everything will now start. But also anyways, we'll talk. I think if we just talked about it, that we once did a video about borrowing monies to friends and family. See, that one is a different story. Watch out for the next truth. We'll talk about that. Because we actually recorded a video about this a while ago. We just started this channel and we lost she lost her own clip. And then we ended up not being able to. We ended up not being able to. So we will re-record it now. Maybe we are wiser, we are older, so it will be better. But I think we've spoken too much. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Have you ever been in that situation before? You know, what do you think about borrowing money to your boyfriend, your fiancé? Do you have any stories you'd like to share? Exactly. Do you think it's an investment? Do you think, there's nothing wrong with it? Let us know in the comment section below. Remember to like this video, to share, to leave a comment. Also remember to follow us on all of your podcast platform. We are also available as a podcast on everywhere that you listen to podcasts from. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Until we meet, my name is Victoria. We are still your favorite host, Victoria and
Yummy.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys.
I know there was a mix up there. You're thinking
I know. I'm see my head is everywhere. This.
I understand.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys.